Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today. Hello and welcome to Knocked Prone, a podcast of high crits, small fits, and varying wits. My name is Cade, and I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by our wonderful guest,
Housey Bella, playing Lillith Flamepike.
Ooh. Awesome. Continuing.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooke, playing Litzy.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Blink.
All right, as last we left our players, they entered into Fort Outcast. Were talked to by the leader of Fort Outcast. We're told how to get to the time anchors, which is in the 3rd tier of the city. They played in a game called Drag and Drop that advanced them from the 1st tier of the city to the 2nd tier of the city. So your guys, as I say this, you notice that your stones, each of them, instead of saying tier 1 on them that you were given as like passes, now say tier 2 on the inscription.
Genuine question.
Yes.
Why are all these people letting these 12-year-olds run around and get almost killed by mechanical dragons?
So, the city, for people who have never played the Dragon Dash before, or it's their only passageway to get from the 1st tier of the city to the 2nd tier of the city, which is like the more well-off. Which is, so people will enter and risk their lives to try and get to the 2nd tier where it is better living. And so they're willing to try and die. And anyone can enter, so a 12-year-old could enter.
Hey, I've listened to your campaigns. 12-year-olds can do anything in this world. Yeah. It's the equivalent of like turning 18, you know, where it's like
true.
12 is like the adult age in this world.
Imagine just like a tiny child walking up to you and being just like, "Hi, fireball."
I'd like to buy 1 beer, please.
Exactly. That was
No
another
kidding.
question. Am I like, can I drink?
I think you're a dwarf.
I'm a dwarf.
I don't know what the drinking age for.
I'm going to look
dwarves
it
is.
up later.
I mean, it's a pretty ragtag world. If they let you fight in a dragon place, they should let you get schmammered.
Ah, heck yeah.
All right, so we join you guys. You are still tied up in the ring. The announcer comes out and starts to talk to you about like your winnings, and he updates Lilith's gold pieces since she already had access to tier 2, and then the rest of you, your tiers change to tier 2.
While he is doing this, I keep healing my panda.
Wonderful.
Twice.
I'm going to take out my longsword and start freeing myself from Blink, and then start picking up the gems because.
Yeah.
Are you healed yet, Tess? Are you still hurting?
I'm at 6 HP.
Okay, well then I'm going to walk over to Tess.
I'm coming with you because we're tethered together.
Oh, yeah. Without thinking, I'm like so worried about Tess. I'm just going to start walking towards them, still attached to Lilith. And I'm going to start casting Cure Wounds. I will do it probably twice.
So, on the way to the gold, after Lakir cuts us free, I'm going to ask... well, there's all this gold here, and it looks like we're the only ones going for it, so are you willing to split this 50-50 with me?
Yours. You're the one who created it.
Okay, well, we'll split it 50-50, so I'll pick up 325 and you pick up 325.
All right. How about you do three? They're 50-piece gems, so 350, 300.
Oh, yes. Okay. I thought it was 650 total gold pieces, not gems. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's 650. It's 1350 gold gems.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Yeah, you pick up the gold gems. You can split them however you'd like. Or not gold gems, but gems.
They're golden gems.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yep.
The announcer comes in and is like, well, you've beaten your life of poverty, and now you can join in to the wealthier class of the tier 2 group, and I hope you have a good time up there. And
Did the other team pick up their friend's hill giant strength belt?
they're around their friend, but they haven't picked it up yet. They haven't touched. They're just looking at the ash heap that is on the ground.
Lakir will go over. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, but I'll be just like, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt your grieving, but your friend had a powerful magical item on them. They don't seem to be needing it anymore. Perhaps we could make use of it. You are anti-magic after all.
I think that that would be permissible. He has a mother, but we would be willing to trade this for your tier 2 rock.
Oh no. Deal. And I'll hand it over to them.
What? Do
Okay.
I see any of this? I'm healing. Okay.
So yeah, you give them your pass to the city. They give you the belt of hill giant strength, and they walk away.
Wait, if these were people I used to run with, why are they not tier 2 already? Or are they?
You used to run with them because you were like a veteran, and then you, for whatever reason, had like this streak of bad luck with them, and
then
so
they
then they
kicked
were
you
like,
out in
okay,
frustration.
yeah, and they got a new group,
And like
then,
maybe you could throw in like they tried to pay you a bunch or something to do it, and that's why they were so upset. And maybe there was.
I would not accept money.
yeah, so
I just wanted their friendship, and it didn't work.
So yeah, but they give you the belt of hill giant strength. They take your pass, and they giddily walk away. And then, the announcer escorts you out of the arena, and you are standing in the city.
I'll hold up the belt and say, well, I got this off of their member who's moved on. Anyone care to have it?
I glare at him.
Well, let's just put it in this bag for the moment then, and we can use it as it comes up of use. And I'll
On that
tuck
note,
it in.
thank you for healing me, let's see.
Of course, anytime.
And
Tess.
then I turn back to my wounded big boy, and I'm like, you're such a good big boy.
I'm going to turn to Lakir. You realize that none of us condone looting bodies like that.
They did. I asked, and they gave it to me, and I made a fair trade. It wasn't like I just stole something. I gave up my pass to the city.
You what? You what?
Lakir!
What? It shouldn't be a big deal.
As you say this, a giant red X appears over your head, and you hear footsteps running towards you.
Okay, we have to leave him.
So wait, are we in the second tier right now?
No, you're in the first tier still.
Okay.
Oh,
What's your plan now?
Well, I didn't know they had magic enforcing it.
Can you do that invisibility thing on yourself?
Not anymore. And I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make a stone that says Tier 2 in my hand. And as people rush up, I'll just kind of... There must be some confusion. I'm allowed here.
Roll me a deception.
Goodness. This is going to be terrible.
Oh, because you didn't get a level 1 in exchange.
15.
A 15. They nod at you and they say, maybe your stone's faulty. And they go and they reach for it.
I'm going to pull my hand back and say, are you kidding? This is my only way into the city. If it's faulty, bring me another.
I'll give you another as soon as you give me that one.
Can I hand him mine?
Behind the back.
And he holds a tier 2 stone in his hand.
What do I have? What do I have? I'll say, well, is there a problem? If you know it's just malfunctioning, then I should be all right to just walk around the city, right?
Well, you might get some weird looks.
Perhaps we could go stand outside and wait for them to fix this while the others go through the city.
Well, how about this? I apparently have this X. I'll get weird looks, but nothing else?
If another guard sees you, I believe they'll kick you out. Not everyone is as understanding as me. They might even throw you in prison.
Can you do your weird illusion thing on the X?
No idea. I will go and say, well, very well. Here. And I'll hold mine out and, like, reach for his, basically.
Roll me a deception check at disadvantage.
Using restore balance, no disadvantage.
Okay. Coming in hot.
Yep.
I run away.
Oh, even better. 16.
16. Okay. You drop it into his hands and take the other one. The X disappears. He quickly pockets it,
And I'll,
not thinking about...
at that moment, like, yeah, no, how about instead? I'll go and I'll say, well, yes, here you go. And I'll put it into his pocket. And then...
a glance of I think I
how
know
about
what you're up to.
I'll put a 50 gold piece gem in place so he feels
Okay.
something hit his pocket. And then I'll tap it and say, like, well, I appreciate your help. I'm new here and did not know the customs.
Yes, thank you very much. We really have to go.
Yes,
Let's...
exhausted from the fight and all. Bye!
You walk away. He doesn't do anything.
We are beelining to tier 2.
I'm still attached to Litzy, so I'm with her.
However, I am sprinting off the other direction.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because you just ran
I need to
away.
go get Tim.
I
gave no explanation, though.
we're like seriously in such a rush, and Lilith has no say in this, and we were like rushing to tier 2. So how
Like,
close
who are
is
you
it?
guys?
So there's a bridge down the street that has a sign over it in green lettering that says tier 2. So there's a guard. He checks your passes. Lakir, your pass works fine.
Beautiful.
And you
As
guys...
expected. What would anything else happen?
Right.
So right as we pass into the second tier, I'm going to turn to Lakir and just say, like, can you maybe use your animal companion to send a message to Tess to see if he can come with us? I just realized that we
Yes,
left him
of
behind.
course.
Oh my gosh, he's probably so scared. He's probably scared out of his mind. Who knows where he is right now?
Snap and Phoenix will come out. I'll lean down to him and just say, find Tess. He was somewhere around the arena. You just look for his panda. It should be straightforward. And then I will send it on its way. And once we get to wherever we're going, are we going anywhere particular in tier 2?
Well, we're finding out how to get to tier 3.
The guard stops you at tier 2. The gate, as he's checking your things, he's saying, well, it's a good thing you're getting out now. Did you hear about the prison outbreak?
The prisoners here?
Oh, they're prisoners here. Well, what do you expect us to do with the criminals?
Throw them out of the city.
Well, we're a place of refuge from Great Grumbopolis. Why would we... we're not going to do what they did to us.
Where is the prison located?
Oh, it's just east of town. But they rumor has it that there's a bunch of prisoners dressed up as commoners around here, and they might be. But I don't think that their passes could get them anywhere else but the tier 1. So it's a good thing you're here.
I eye these guys suspiciously now because I genuinely don't know where they came from.
So it seems that the town may have a service that we could complete, perhaps for further access to the city.
Oh, to get into the third tier?
How would one regularly get to the third tier?
Well, the third tier, it's made up of the rulers of the city. So there is the 2 temples, the Temple of the Dragon King, and then the Temple of the Ox King. I believe you've met the one of the Ox King. I believe that the only people who get into tier 3 are the philosophers of the group, because they are known as the leaders.
I wouldn't consider myself a philosopher by any means.
Lilith, but you were born into it.
Oh, of course
You
I
were
was.
grandfathered in, of course.
You're so right. By my grandfather.
Yes. You're great.
Great.
So basically, I can just do whatever I want.
That was awful. I hate you.
And, well, as well as the prisoners. I mean, there's a famine going on throughout the kingdom. I don't know if they're going to have much food for you in the second tier. The mines have run dry. The crops are dead.
So I am kind of just now hearing this because I've been sheltered. I'm a tier 3. I haven't even thought about it. I've just been very good at fighting. So I'm taking all of this in and I look visibly stressed. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should be able to manage for ourselves.
No wonder no one likes me.
You're like the privileged kid that like doesn't know.
Exactly.
Like you should write a book on how
I just
hard
fight
you work.
stuff. five easy ways to tier 3. I'll be born into it.
Give me
There are
15
no other
minutes
pages.
twice a week.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And Tess, you catch up at this point.
Okay. Was I able to find Tim?
Yeah. Tim was in the sky box. He was
Yes.
checking out the fight. He pats you with his leg twice on the shoulder as you put him on there to tell you did a good job. And you guys
Kiss him.
Yeah, you guys enter into the second tier of the city. So as you cross this bridge, a veil opens as like where it was kind of difficult to see into the second tier. It is now very easy to see up into the second tier.
Oh, so there's like a visual barrier.
So that because they don't want people looking in on their lives. And as you enter, you notice people sitting down at restaurants, ordering multiple plates of food. Yeah, just very like wealthy, high-rise houses, and everyone has their own individual house. And it's just
A significant difference.
significant difference from the first tier. Like
Okay.
it's quite the shock.
This was more of what I was expecting for everyone, honestly. But at least we're here for now. So, you have access to tier 3.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we are no rulers or philosophers, but perhaps you could gain access and get us the time anchor we need?
Sure.
It did seem like we might be able to achieve something to go to tier 3. I know none of us would necessarily consider ourselves philosophers, but perhaps we should look into it.
Well,
Speak for yourself.
how hard is it to get the thing you want me to get?
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly
heard
what
about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it would take to be able to receive these time anchors, but I do think that if we can get to tier 3,
Wait, aren't we able to just buy them? Do I remember someone saying we could buy time anchors?
I asked if we could buy them, and the answer was
They're
no.
given to each individual person. And
Well,
it's-
why don't
it's
I
like a-
have one?
Why don't
Well, I guess you
have
never
a water
asked.
buffalo?
You were born into it. And
I
they're
need
like,
to go ask for a time anchor.
Yeah, you might as well.
Free
yeah.
gift.
I should
hello.
just have one.
Yeah, but it only works for one person.
Oh.
So you get one each.
One each.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be worth at least checking out and seeing what it would take for us to get to tier 3. See if it's a possibility for us.
Okay. I forgot to ask before I'm helping you all. Who are you?
Hi, my name's Tess, and this is my best friend Tim, and this is Big Boy my panda.
Okay, cool. But why are you here?
I don't know how much you're aware of this, but for as far as we know, Fort Outcast has been a place where outcasts from our city, where we were born, Great Grumbopolis, it's a place of refuge for people from our city. And there are many issues going on in Great Grumbopolis, and we found our way here, and we're hoping to get these time anchors to help us on our journey to basically help the situation we have going on at home.
Well, yes, we're here for 2 separate things. The time anchors, which I believe are to help you find your mom. As well, my father, Amalek, has been attempting to seize control of Great Grumbopolis and has displaced many of the people who once called it home. As such, we are looking for fighters who are ready to take back our home with us.
So Lillith, you would know of the Dragon King, who has similar intent. He is organizing a militaristic front to basically go back to Great Grumbopolis and try to take it over.
Okay, is that Amalek?
No.
Or is this a different
this
one?
Amalek is my father who
Yeah,
took over
so he's
the
not the
city.
Dragon King.
No, the
Dragon
Dragon
King
King.
would like to
Opposing
defeat
factions.
Amalek.
Yeah, Dragon King is in Fort Outcast. So there's two kings. One's the Ox King, and he was the one who came first. And then the Dragon King is kind of like a self-proclaimed.
And they're
king.
both in Fort Outcast.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And the Dragon King would like to defeat Amalek to fix the issue going on in Great Grumbopolis.
Yep.
Okay, I look at them for a minute, squint, and then I say, you know what? No one would make this up. I can help you.
Well, I'm glad we've earned your trust.
And if it helps, I'll summon Phoenix again. We're friends to animals, and we have his panda, his grasshopper, and my fox that are ready and waiting. Would you like to pet him?
Can I?
Of course. And I'll order Phoenix to run up and jump into her arms.
I squeal with delight. Thank you. Okay, now you have double my trust. I'm ready. What do you guys need from me?
Well, maybe if you could lead us to the bridge to the third tier to see, or somebody who can tell us what we can do to try to.
If we attempt to access it, maybe they'll just inform us of ways we could.
Exactly.
Okay, is Phoenix a phoenix or another creature?
Phoenix is a fox.
Even better. Okay, I motion them to come along, and I skip with Phoenix still in my arms. Wait, no, I can't do that because we're still tied together.
You know what? Yes. All this time we've been so distracted. Yes, you finally untie us, and we give each other an awkward look of like, why are we still tied together?
And then I skip.
And then you skip.
Nice. Okay. So
Do we need to rest or anything?
No. I mean, you could if you wanted.
I'm not doing great, but until I feel pretty
I
safe.
prefer we don't have another fight until I have a chance to rest. But if we do, I think I could manage to a certain degree.
I agree.
Well, I cast level 2 Cure Wounds, healing for 9.
Awesome.
Not
And,
great, but it's good.
You guys are welcome to rest anytime you want, but just keep in mind, Tess, your Grasshopper's time anchor has 5 days left on it.
5 days, okay.
5 days.
Wait, what? Tim has the...
So, grasshoppers don't live very long.
Yeah.
But mine has been around for a long time.
Which, actually, I was wondering if I could assist with that.
Most welcome.
It will most likely take the power of me and Litzy. I don't know if you're proficient in the arcane arts.
I pierce things with a pike.
So no. So I think it would take the combined effort of me, Litzy, and Blink. However, similar to the services you provided me, and I'll pull out my spell book that I had. I think if we are able to do that ritual with the gems and the health potions and everything again, we may be able to form a more permanent solution for Tim. I can't guarantee it.
Well, it's worth a shot.
How about the next time that we take a long rest? We can work on that.
Yeah, I like that.
Wonderful.
Okay. So you guys head to the third tier bridge? Mm-hmm. Okay. You are stopped by a guard. He has so many wrinkles on his face. He's a human man. He's got this huge, long beard going down to his knees. And he stops you and he says, "Wait a minute. May I see your passes?"
What's his name? I feel like I should know his name.
His name is John.
Hi, John. Here you are.
Lillith, oh, nice to see you. May I see your pass?
Boom.
And he beckons you into the third tier.
We're her
I
guests.
Oh, well,
Can I have friends over?
if they have the access to the third tier,
Well,
of course.
what if they don't?
Oh, well then I'm sure that you could hang out here in the second tier. and
Okay,
it'll be
but
great.
how can I bring them with me?
Oh, well, are you philosophers?
Perhaps.
That
Have
in
you-
itself was very philosophical.
Precisely.
This is true. Well, as you can see, there is famine in the first tier of our city. What do you think the city could do to fix our problem of famine?
I could cast Goodberry so many times.
But that's only a temporary solution.
Yes.
In reality, you need to stop treating your citizens as if they are more valuable or less valuable than each other, and you need to give them equivalent resources based on their value as an intrinsic person.
It would appear that there is a large population of people who are doing the majority of the work for a population of people who aren't doing any work at all. It does seem like if the entire city worked together to create resources and be able to divide the work a little bit more evenly, there probably wouldn't be so much of a problem.
Hey, I know I'm not technically a philosopher, but I don't think these are the answers they're looking for.
Well, I'm not saying that these are the answers that they're looking for, but these are the answers that they would need to follow in order to solve their problem.
And you, the Dragonborn, what do you think?
I could go to the Tier 1 district and cast as many spells as I need to for it to rain potentially enough money to help these people. But it would take a long time.
But that's just the problem. They don't need money. They need food. They need water. They need supplies.
More drag and drop.
Money doesn't buy that if they
Survival
don't
of
have
the
it.
fittest.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be the way the city's been functioning so far.
watching Lilith squirm over our answers, like we're answering them very wrong, I would like to sort of have get some insight. I'd like to kind of read this guard guy to see how he's feeling about our answers so far.
Yeah, roll me an insight.
16.
With a 16, as you were speaking, he gave you like a thoughtful nod. So maybe you were in a correct direction. How did you come to your decision?
Well, I think that a lot of philosophy is less about problem solving and more about morals. And I think that a big part of the solution to this problem, this sort of moral dilemma, would have more to do with working together as a team to create a better life for everyone, as opposed to being able to create a solution that keeps the corruptness that's been happening in Fort Outcast.
And if there was not enough food to go around to everyone in the first tier, would it be better that the second tier were to starve as well?
I don't believe the second tier would have to starve if they were more a part of the working class.
And you, Elf, what do you think of her solution?
Well, I think she's fairly accurate, but at the same time, I think it's better that if these second-tier people have proven their usefulness to the city, they should put that usefulness to the test instead of being idle and sitting around.
And what made you come to this decision?
I guess I was always taught that you should try as hard as you can for whatever you're going for, and that applies to everyone else.
Well, I like your solution, Blink, because it shows the chaoticism that you have put in. And Tess, that took a level of selflessness to waste all of your spell slots. Gnome, I think that your solution bears the most weight of the group, and frankly is the reason that I'm letting the most of you in. But Elf, I think that your solution, though harsh, also holds some merit, and so I will allow you to pass.
So basically you can say anything and get in.
Well, being a philosopher is less about coming up with the correct solution and more about coming up with your best solution based on your moral reasoning. And then he'll snap, 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 and all of your tier 2 passes will appear to be tier 3, and you are welcome to go to the third tier of the city.
I am in awe.
Yeah, I actually, as we're passing by the bridge, I would like to mention, I want to say, I've actually read many philosophy books, definitely a passion of mine in all of my academic years at school, and there is a lot of history and information about philosophers not caring as much about what your morals are and how you make and what your decisions are for your moral actions, but that it matters more how you came to that conclusion. what your reasoning is behind your actions. So that actually doesn't surprise me too much.
Hey, can we just go? You already gave your answer.
Yes, why don't you show us to your home?
Litzy hurries and walks over there. And as she's walking, as I'm walking, I mutter, I've learned like 30 things about this world, my city today. And none of this makes sense now. You can just say whatever and you're in tier 3? Maybe that's how I got here. So, visible distress, mental crisis, 12-year-old crisis happening right now.
Wonderful.
Well, we're glad that we were able to meet you and provide you with some new knowledge.
Why are you so calm?
You know, we've had a very chaotic past couple of months, if I'm being honest, and really not a lot surprises us now, I would say. Would you agree?
The most ordered place we've been in for probably about a couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have fought like 50 dragons, and this is probably my most exciting day yet, so I'm sticking with you guys for now.
All right. So you cross over the bridge. As you cross over the bridge, you see two temples. One is kind of like it's carved into stone of the city, and it is inlet, and it doesn't look as fancy. But then the other temple has gems and many like lavish tapestries and many things that are adorning its exterior. And yeah, those are the two kingdoms. The one that is made of rock has carvings of ox in it, leading you to believe that it is the king of the ox temple. The other one has many dragons on the tapestry, leading you to believe that it's the Dragon King's kingdom.
Which of these guys am I related to, or am I related to any of these people?
So you are friends with the Ox King, and you reside in the Ox Kingdom.
Okay.
Tell me, what are the differences between these two kingdoms, or is it more of just a political faction up here?
I am knowledgeable on the subject, and I tell him about it.
Yes. So Lillith very, very eloquently tells you that the king of the outcasts, or the Ox, he wants to start anew and wants to forgive Grumbopolis, and is heavily religious and believes that the Ox God will provide a way, and that it doesn't that people in the city should stay in the city, and he's willing to sacrifice some people to the famine in order for the greater good to happen. The king of the dragons, he is angry that Grumbopolis has more utilities and commodities than Fort Outcast, where Fort Outcast has more citizens, and he believes that he is forming an army to go and take over Great Grumbopolis from the current leader.
There you have it. I'm very knowledgeable on the subject.
Well, it seems that our likely ally is going to be the Dragon King, but I don't know if I like either of their solutions to our issue. On one side, you have, no offense, Tess, but a pacifist who doesn't want to actually agitate the city, where it's being controlled by a corrupt power maniac. But then the other side decides that they want to take it over and just have the city under new management? What good does that do if nothing actually changes?
Well, from a strictly strategic point of view of our position, I believe that the easiest person to work with would be the Ox King, because of the food that both me and Blink can supply with our stuff, so we could offer our services.
But he doesn't want to attack Great Grumbopolis.
Well, yes, but at least when it comes to getting the time anchors, perhaps by helping stave off the famine, he would give them to us.
It's actually a great idea. Well, I know it's probably dangerous to do in a city where we're unfamiliar, but if we want to split up and a few of us go to the Ox King to figure out the famine, while the others go to the Dragon King for assistance from his army.
I think that might be a good idea. We could at least see exactly what they're offering, and after comparing the two, maybe be able to make the best decision possible to be able to get our time anchors.
So for now, when we go, we don't make any binding agreements, and we meet up and talk about it first.
I think so.
Perhaps, yeah.
Offer what you can, especially as they are opposing sides. Don't dedicate us to one side, but playing both may be advantageous.
No, it's not that. I'm just thinking from a character's standpoint, like what would my character be doing, thinking, since I am apparently knowledgeable on Grumbopolis and the Two Kingdoms, maybe I grew up considering it more as like a fable that people just told me because I am 12.
Yeah.
So I am sitting here thinking more and more about how real this whole situation is, and I have nothing to say.
Yep.
Yeah. And so as far as splitting up, I'd be lying if I said I don't feel like I align a little bit more with the Ox King. But if Tess and Blink, you're going to be offering the solution of,
What, you don't think I can handle the Dragon King alone?
I mean, if you're going to offer it, then, maybe I will go to the Ox King.
Well, even though I have part of the solution, since we're not agreeing to anything, I could still go with Lakir.
Well, I do think it is prudent that we have you two available to show off your skills in being able to assist in the famine.
Lillith, and I'm not sure how you're feeling about all of this, but is there a king you would rather see?
I know the Ox King better. I have a lot to consider right now, so if you want to make a decision, I will come along while I'm thinking upon what I've learned today.
Lakir, do you really feel comfortable going to visit the Dragon King by yourself?
Do we trust Lakir?
Do we trust Lakir?
Metagaming, I know that probably won't go super well, but Lakir has the utmost confidence in his abilities
I don't.
to twist words and stuff like that. So it depends on if the party's comfortable with it, really. Lakir will say, I'm perfectly comfortable. I'm used to handling royalty and the higher-ups from Great Grumbopolis. I should do fine.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can take Big Boy, and I'll hand you the bag.
Sure.
As he hands you the bag, the panda walks over towards you very slowly and then sits like right at your feet and looks up at you.
Oh my gosh.
I give him a kiss.
I'll like reach out timidly and like give it an awkward pat and just like, well, I guess you're with me now.
I like lean over to Blink and I'm like, Lakir is going to bring him back a war panda and Tess is not going to like it.
It's gonna be covered in armor with like weapons and stuff just to disappear tonight.
Well, so Litzy does not feel good about letting Lakir go by himself. Less for survival reasons and more for can't keep an eye on him reasons. But I feel so strongly just so pulled to go to the Ox King, somebody that I just feel like I align with a little more than the Dragon King, even though I don't feel great about either of them. So I do think that I'm going to head with.
Yeah, and so if we're sharing insights, Tess just is like, he doesn't necessarily agree with the Ox King, but he does not really think that the Dragon King's management would be any better than like
Oh yeah, no. It wouldn't.
Amalek's based on his thing. So he's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're splitting up 4-1.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
4-2.
Oh, because the panda.
Yes.
I was
I'm
like,
with the panda.
we'll go with Lakir first, since it's going to be kind of a shorter conversation. You enter into the Dragon King's throne room, and he's sitting upon a throne, and he is a purplish-skinned drow with very pointed ears and white hair, and he looks down at you with his, like, he's got these piercing, like, copper eyes, and his, like, cape is somehow billowing, but there's no wind.
Okay. He has the cape of...
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
That cape. It's one of my favorite magical items. I'll go and say, hello, Great King. I just want to start out saying I noticed your decor and your stylistic choosings of the building, and I must say, very flattering.
Oh, why, hello. I appreciate it. What may I do for you?
Well, yes, I'm actually a representative from my party. We just arrived in Fort Outcast today, and we're looking for reinforcements. We are from Great Crumbopolis, and currently it is undergoing a transition of power. There has been an uprising, and Oleander has been removed from power, and replacing him would be an evil man who is looking to enslave the entire population. This man happens to be my father, which is why I personally am looking to end his tirade and bring peace to the people of Great Crumbopolis.
Well, as it happens, I also agree with this, and I think that... Come with me.
Wonderful.
And he leads you out of the city.
Out of the city.
Out of the city.
Cool. I'm gonna die.
I was going to say, oh, well, for meeting up.
You guys walk into the Ox King's throne room. It's kind of less... He's not sitting on a throne. He's like sitting on a bench talking to a few of his other people.
What's the Ox King's name?
Grogmar.
Oh yes, Grogmar. Okay.
Okay.
I greet Grogmar with a wave.
I did not expect for you to be back so soon with your friends.
I know, I have friends now.
Yes, Lillith.
I'm 12, okay?
Well, Lillith, what do you desire? What are you here for?
My friends want to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello. We are interested in doing what we can to help Fort Outcast. We appreciate what you've done here and how you've supported the outcasts of Great Crumbopolis. We are also wondering if it would be possible and what it would take for us to each receive a time anchor.
Right. Well, do you know of the Dragon King?
Yes.
Well, he has usurped some power from me. I do not, as I am rather, I take a pacifist view towards life. I do not wish to fight against his power, as I am still seen as the main king of the city. However, Bovir, the Dragon King, has overstepped some bounds lately.
Is this why there are so many poor people here?
How do you mean?
Tier 1. I didn't even think about it until today. Why are they all starving?
Well, I don't turn anyone away. And the great Ox God will provide.
Okay, if you say so.
Bovir, he has a pet iguana. It has grown in size 10 times over and 10 times again. And it has disappeared recently. And I believe that he is plotting to, well, bring back the Age of the Dragon. And I do not know how, but I have seen him travel to the volcano very many times in the past little while. And I fear for the safety of our city if he is successful.
How do you suggest we help with this situation?
Well, I don't know if you've heard of the prison outbreaks. I do believe that was the Dragon King seeking new followers. And who better to follow him than someone who has not encapturement or freedom in the ranks of Bovier's army, and if you could go to his volcano and stop him in whatever he is planning on doing, that would be enough for me.
Do you have something in mind when you say stop him?
Well, I fear his iguana is the real culprit here. I don't know what he's doing, either by taking out Bovier or taking out his iguana. Either would suffice.
Okay, pacifist king.
Yeah, have other people do your dirty work for you.
I'm pacifist, but my army isn't.
With me, I would never hurt a fly.
Yeah, that sounds classic.
It's all making more and more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Group huddle. I pull everyone aside.
I awkwardly
to talk.
don't know whether to be in the huddle or not.
I motion for you to join the huddle.
Okay.
Grogmar goes back to discussing with some of his advisors. So, he's not listening.
I'm not sure entirely how capable we feel of stopping a giant iguana. I'm not sure how to stop a giant iguana. I have no idea where Lakir is and what he's thinking, and how things are going for him. I definitely feel like we need to regroup and decide what to do before moving forward.
Hey.
I'm halfway to the iguana.
Dragon Drop trained me for this moment, but you guys were good too. We can do this.
It does seem like the Dragon King is making some morally questionable decisions, and that this iguana might be a threat in a very negative way. Although I don't feel like I have a full grasp or trust of either of these leaders. So maybe if we go to our meeting point, we'll see.
So should we go back to the meeting place? I don't know if my Ox King here is going to be that much more of use to us now.
I trust that insight. Do you two feel like we should go back to our meeting place, gather more information?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Although, the age of the dragon doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Grogmar,
Yes?
So you were listening.
Well,
Just kidding.
if somebody said my name across the room, I'd be like, what?
Grogmar? Yes.
I foiled your plot.
do you know where the Dragonborn are?
I do. And I assumed that with your companion here, you knew as well, but they're the reason that we still have these time anchors. They're the ones who built them, and why we don't give them out to everyone, because they're in the Feywild. Grogmar says, I trust that you will do the right thing. I'd love to reunite the Dragonborn and maybe start an age of Dragonborn over an age of a dragon. Maybe that is what the Ox God so desires. And with that, he ushers you out.
Okay, so we go to the meeting point. How long do we wait before we assume that Lakir isn't coming?
Well, let's pop over to Lakir.
Yeah, the Dragon King is telling you about his plans. He's leading you to the volcano. He's telling you that, well, Lakir, the people of Great Grumbopolis no longer need their resources. And so, I believe that if I could amass an army, however I come by them, that we can take on Grumbopolis. And, well, it is myth that there is a horde of dragons that live in the center of our dormant volcano. And, well, I've somewhat formed a dragon of my own. And as he leads you into the volcano, you see just a dragon-sized iguana.
That's amazing. You said that you're looking for an army, right?
Well, somebody has to ride the dragons.
Well, I heard there was a prison break just a little while ago. They would probably be eager and...
Oh, don't worry. They're already on board.
Wonderful. Well, so we're actually looking for an army to help us storm Great Bombopolis. If you can take on the brunt of their forces, I believe that my group and I should be able to directly challenge my father.
The only thing that would stand in our way, you may have mistaken it for the sun, but when you came in, did you notice a giant crystal hanging over our city?
I didn't.
It looks somewhat like the sun because it glows so bright. But this crystal is a protection, and I believe that that is the security blanket that keeps so many people in Fort Outcast. If we were able to use our dragon army, fly up, take this crystal that is protecting Fort Outcast from intruders, then they'd have no choice but to fight with us.
I mean, I can see the logic of forcing people to fight, but unwilling warriors are not going to be warriors that give you much value.
But in a numbers game, we win.
Well, you have my interest. Do you, and I'll take a look around the cavern. Have you, found any smaller dragons, by chance?
No. I believe they're all within the volcano. And
Look down into the volcano.
Yeah.
Can I see, like,
well, so
is it active?
you're in the volcano right now. So there's
Okay.
like a rock formed at the top that is like covering the magma below, or what would be magma below. And you can assume that beneath this like sheet of rock at the top would be where the dragon horde nest is.
All right. Well, I do, for the most part, like your plan. I'll have to defer to my group as I am not the decision maker of it, but I'll let them know. I would say that I don't think that taking that crystal is a great idea just off of my intuition. But you are a king, so I'll trust your judgment.
On that note, Lakir, it would be lovely if you could kill the Ox King.
I'll consider it, but I want a dragon.
You have my army.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And with that, that's where we're going to end our session. My name is Cade, and I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I am joined here by our wonderful guest.
Halsey Bella playing Lillith Flamepike. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok.
Awesome. And continuing.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litzy.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Blink.
And again, really, go check out Halsey Bella's page. She does wonderful superhero cosplays and other cosplays that are phenomenal. Her TikToks are great, and her Instagram page is also equally great.
You're too nice. You're great.
Oh, thank you. But with that, we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
I love that.
You know those pop-up books you have as a kid where you could turn the page and a whole scene would come to life? What if your battle maps worked the same way? Introducing Titan's Terrain 2, a pop-up battle map with countless layout options. As a dungeon master, I spend a lot of time setting up maps for battles instead of, actually planning those battles. Well, say goodbye to countless hours of map drawing with these ready, out-of-the-box tiles, said to be the most affordable way to transform your tabletop gaming experience. Not only are these battle maps easy to set up, they're easy to store as well, which means you can spend more time gaming and less time assembling. The whole set fits in the size of a standard board game box all folded up. Support this Kickstarter and bring terrain that brings your D&D and TTRPG games to life in a matter of seconds. Titan's Terrain Series 2, where affordability meets convenience. Support this Kickstarter and elevate your tabletop gaming experience today. Learn more about Titan's Terrain Series 2 in our episode description.